Hi, I'm Sohail. Today I'm going to talk about the bone cells. Bone is a connective tissue that has 4 types of cells, and these cells are osteogenic cell, osteoblast, osteocytes, and osteoclast. During embryonic development, bone replaces both mesenchyme and cartilage. This process of replacing other tissues with bone, that is called ossification. So, ossification is a bone forming process. Calcification or mineralization, that refers to the deposition of calcium salts. So, any tissue can be calcified, but only ossification forms bone. There are 4 types of bone cells, that is osteogenic cells, which are stem cells, and these stem cells, they arise from embryonic mesenchyme. Osteogenic cells, they divide by mitosis to give rise osteoblasts, which are bone forming cells that produces the bone matrix, and this osteoblast, when it is trapped in the bone matrix, it differentiates into osteocytes, which are living bone cells, and osteoclasts are bone dissolving cells. Osteogenic cells are bone producing cells. They are stem cells and found in the endosteum. In a long bone, in the center there is a cavity. That cavity is called medullary cavity, and this medullary cavity, it contains a delicate membranous inner lining, which is called endosteum, and endosteum contains stem cells, which are called osteogenic cells. This is the long bone, and long bone is composed of compact bone and spongy bone. Inside the compact bone, there is a cavity which is called medullary cavity, and the inner lining of this medullary cavity, that contains osteogenic cells. Osteogenic cells, they are also present in the inner lining of periosteum. Periosteum is a layer of fibrous connective tissue that covers the long bone. Osteogenic cells, they are also present in the central canal of osteon. What is an osteon? It is the basic unit of compact bone. Each osteon that has a central canal, and this central canal, it has blood vessel, lymph vessel, and nerves. The inner lining of the central canal, that has osteogenic cells, which are stem cells. So, what are stem cells? Stem cells, they are undifferentiated cells, and they divide to produce new tissues as needed. Stem cells, they replace epidermis, lining of the digestive tube. They are involved in the formation of blood cells and connective tissues. Let's watch this video. I am going to focus only on stem cells. For full video, please use this link.
Greetings and thanks for tuning in to this seminar. In this video, Dr. Childers is going to go over a few details such as what stem cells are, how stem cells heal the body, how to get stem cell treatment, Dr. Childers' practice versus other practitioner methods, and finally, cost and payment options should you feel this is the right direction for you. This is Dr. Henry Childers. He's a board-certified general surgeon and cardiothoracic surgeon.
The one single cell which divided into 2, divided into 3. Then they changed into the specific groups. They have several properties. Number 1, they're live, so they can divide and make more. Number 2, they can differentiate. And injured tissues give off a signal that attracts stem cells. And that attraction, that signal, that biochemical signal that attracts them, also tells them what kind of cell they need to turn into. That's called differentiation. Third thing they do, and maybe the most important, it's called a Paracrine effect. They release biochemical compounds, information, messenger RNA, different genetic material, that influence all of the surrounding cells in the area to act more like a repair cell. So we get 3 things when we talk about stem cells. Division, so they last a long time. Differentiation, so they can change into injured tissue. And that Paracrine effect, which has a regional but a long-distance therapeutic effect on other tissues to help the response element.
What conditions do stem cells work on?
Stem cells are the cells that built the body and repair the body.
Where do you get stem cells from? Are the stem cells mine? Are the stem cells safe?
There's several places we get stem cells from. Bone marrow, which are yours. Adipose tissue, which is fat, and those are yours, and those are autologous. And then there's a source we call allogenic. It means it's someone else's. From the allogenic source, we get what's called cord blood. These are neonatal cord cells. The other source, which I said was autologous, are from you. Adipose tissue has predominantly mesenchymal type stem cells, and mesenchymal type stem cells are from the germ layer, mesoderm, which are responsible for building bone, muscle, cartilage, tendon. That is a better type of stem cell if you're going to be doing any kind of joint or skeletal muscular work. We've learned in the last years, after a mother delivers a baby, the umbilical cord and placenta contain a large amount of stem cells.
Osteogenic cells, they are present in the inner layer of periosteum. So this is periosteum, which is a fibrous connective tissue that covers the long bone. And this is the inner lining of periosteum that has osteogenic cells. They are also present in the central canal of osteon. Osteogenic cells, they arise from embryonic mesenchyma. They divide by mitosis to give rise osteoblasts, which are bone-forming cells. Osteoblast, that is bone-producing cells. This is endosteum, an endosteum that contains osteogenic cell that produces by mitosis osteoblast, and osteoblast is a bone-forming cells that produces the bone, and later on osteoblasts, they are trapped in the bone matrix and they differentiate into osteocytes. Osteoblasts, they synthesize organic matter of the matrix and they mineralize the bone. Osteoblasts, they do not further divide, and the source of new osteoblast is only osteogenic cells, which are stem cells. Osteoblasts are responsible for the formation of the bone, and during bone formation, osteoblasts, they are trapped in the bone matrix and they differentiate into osteocytes. And osteocytes are the living bone cells. They are present in small cavities, and these cavities are called lacunae. Lacuna is singular, lacunae is plural. In stress and fracture, the process of formation of osteoblast is accelerated. So more osteoblasts are produced to rebuild the bone. Let's watch this animation where osteoblast, they carrying out its responsibility to build bone. Next is osteocytes. During bone formation, osteoblasts, they are trapped in the bone matrix, and these osteoblasts, which are bone forming cells, they differentiate into another type of cells that is called osteocytes. Osteocytes are living bone cells. This is the portion of compact bone. The basic unit of compact bone is called osteon. In the center of each osteon, there is a central canal. And this central canal, it has blood vessel, lymph vessel, and nerves. This osteon, it has concentric rings, and these concentric rings are called lamellae. Between the lamellae, there are small cavities are present, and these cavities are called lacunae. Lacuna is singular, lacunae is plural. Inside each lacuna, osteocyte, which is a living bone cell, that is present inside each lacuna. And these lacunae, they are also interconnected through slender channels, through small connections between the lacunae. They are called canaliculi. Canaliculus is singular, canaliculi is plural. So osteocytes, they are present in small cavities, and these cavities are called lacunae. Lacuna is singular, lacunae is plural. These are the slender channels which are called canaliculi that connects the cavities where osteocytes are present. Osteocytes, which are the living bone cells, they have cytoplasmic processes. These are the cytoplasmic extensions, and these cytoplasmic extensions that extend into the canaliculi and that meet the neighboring osteocytes through gap junctions. So this is one osteon, and this osteon, it has concentric rings which are called lamellae. Along the lamellae, here are small cavities are present, and these cavities are called lacunae. Lacuna is singular. Inside each lacuna, one osteocyte is present, and this osteocyte which is present inside the lacuna, that has cytoplasmic extensions. And lacunae are the cavities. They are interconnected through these slender channels which are called canaliculi. Canaliculus is singular. And the cytoplasmic extensions that extend through these canaliculi and that is connected with the neighboring osteocytes. So between the osteocytes, there is cytoplasmic connection, and that cytoplasmic connection is through gap junctions. There are different types of cell to cell junctions are present. Gap junctions are present in osteocytes so that the cytoplasmic contents of one osteocyte is connected to the neighboring osteocyte. Osteoclasts are bone dissolving cells, and osteoclasts they develop from bone marrow stem cells. Bone marrow stem cells are the cells which are involved in the formation of blood cells. Several stem cells they fuse together to form an osteoclast. Each osteoclast that has 3 to 4 nuclei. In some cases up to 50 nuclei are present in one osteoclast. So these are the stem cells which fuse together to form an osteoclast. Osteoclast is a multinucleated cells, and the number of nuclei that varies from 3 to 4, in some cases up to 50 nuclei are present. The site of osteoclast that is facing the bone has ruffled border, and it has many infoldings of plasma membrane. This expanded membrane it secretes hydrochloric acid, and hydrochloric acid that dissolves the mineral part of the matrix. So this is the ruffled border that has many infoldings that secretes hydrochloric acid, and hydrochloric acid it dissolves the mineral part of the bone. Its pH value is 4. Lysosomes of osteoclast they secrete enzymes, and these enzymes they digest the organic part of the bone. Osteoclasts they are present in small pits which are called resorption bay. To sum up, ossification it is a bone forming process. Calcification or mineralization, that is the deposition of calcium salts within a tissue. There are 4 types of bone cells, that is osteogenic cells, osteocytes, osteoblasts and osteoclasts. First of all is osteogenic cells which are called stem cells, and osteogenic cells they arise from embryonic mesenchyme. Osteogenic cells they are present in the inner lining of endosteum, they are present in the inner lining of perosteum, as well as they are also present in the inner lining of central canal of each osteon. Osteoblasts are bone forming cells, they are produced by mitosis from osteogenic cells, and they are responsible to synthesize the organic matter of the matrix. They are also responsible to mineralize the bone. Osteoblasts they cannot divide further by mitosis. So these osteoblasts they are trapped in bone matrix and they differentiate into osteocytes. They are present in small cavities which are called lacunae. Lacunae they are interconnected through slender channels. They are called canaliculi, where the neighboring osteocytes are connected through gap junctions. Osteoclasts are bone dissolving cells and they arise from bone marrow stem cells. Osteoclasts they reside in small pits which are called resorption bays. I have a question for you. Which cells are responsible for building bone? Osteoblast, osteoclast, red bone marrow, yellow bone marrow. Let's watch this slideshow.